My next guest is a New York Times best-selling illustrator from Whidbey Island. Her debut graphic novel, Fake Chinese Sounds, tackles the messy process of learning to be comfortable in your own skin. Please welcome to New Day Northwest, Jing Jing Tsong. So glad to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me here. I'm really happy to be here and talk about the book.
This is exciting. So you have been known for illustrating children's books for years.
Yes.
What is it about this story that made you A, want to write, and B, create a graphic novel?
Well, it started out as a picture book concept. So it was actually started out with the bullying scene. That's the high point.
The crux of everything?
It's the crux of the graphic novel. But when I showed my editor, she's like, there is way more to this story than just that scene. Like, it is actually more interesting to hear about the before and the after. And that's going to be more than 32 pages, right? A picture book is 32 pages.
Right.
So then it went from 90 to 200 pages.
That's amazing.
Well, it was amazing. And it was like, whoa, I'm not sure I can do this amount of work. It's such a change, you know?
But you did.
Yeah, like a picture book takes about a year to work on.
Yeah.
And this took me about 7 years.
Well, of course. I mean, you're illustrating and you're. Oh, can I ask a question? Mm-hmm. This may be a silly question. Do you illustrate and then write, or write then illustrate?
Oh man, that's like a really good question because everyone does it differently.
Yeah.
So I actually wrote probably 7 drafts before I started drawing.
Okay.
Yeah. And then even as I started putting together the text and the drawings, I was editing and changing the dialogue because you are kind of directing a movie and then you realize, oh, I don't need them to say that because I'm showing that.
I love that the story begins right around this time of year, kind of, actually, when like summer starting, school is out. I want to learn more about your character, Mei Ying.
So Mei Ying, it's actually at the end of summer, and she's about to start school. Yeah.
All right.
And so she's about to enter 5th grade. It's a big change. Like, she feels like she's really grown up.
Totally, yes.
Like, you always think your life is going to change dramatically.
Oh, obviously.
And then 2 weeks before school starts, she meets her Nai, her grandmother, for the first time. And it's also like her first immersion into her mother's culture.
Right,
so
right.
Her mother is an immigrant from Taiwan, but Mei Ying has always identified, with Western culture.
Right.
And she just thought her mom was weird. Like, she didn't think that her mom was a certain way because of her culture.
So let's talk about the bullying. How does that come about?
Well, the bullying comes about because she encounters a new kid at school. So the new kid is, trying to get attention and make friends himself. And so the way he gets attention is to make fun of Mei Ying. So she becomes the focus of his
bullying.
Of his bullying, which he thinks is funny, and which some of the other kids think is funny.
I love your use of colors in this.
Thank you.
It's so amazing. I mean, it's just everything from like this full colorful moment when so much is being experienced to yellow, everything's fine, 2 days until 5th grade starts, and then we go to red.
Yeah, it gets pretty intense.
Part 2 is Fake Chinese Sounds. What does that mean?
Well, so Fake Chinese Sounds is kind of, the obvious part is that it's the teasing when kids are making fake Chinese sounds. But then later in the story, fake Chinese sounds are also what the Asian kids joke about, because when they're trying to learn Mandarin Chinese and they're having a hard time with the tones, the parents make fun of their kids for speaking fake Chinese.
Interesting.
Yeah, so the humor is kind of both ways.
Wow, that gives me the chills. Mei Ying also has a best friend that just doesn't seem to get it.
Right.
She minimizes the harassment as goofing off. Talk to me about how you included that perspective, because I actually, as having an 11-year-old myself, and 5th grade is a really brutal time, I've seen that happen, where the best friend all of a sudden is like, oh, or joins in with the other group.
Totally.
Why did you decide to include that? Because that's really important.
Well, I'm so glad you said that, because I think that is a universal experience.
Yeah.
So this book isn't, people are talking about the racism that I talk about in the book, but it's really this universal experience of being an outsider. Everyone feels like an outsider at some point.
Yeah.
And so if someone is the focus of a bully, the friends around might, they might be really afraid that that bully is going to change their focus to them. And so they might minimize their friend's experience. But also, like, if a kid hasn't experienced racism, I think it's a very hard thing to understand how hurtful racist humor can be.
Yeah.
And especially if we are surrounded by that kind of humor in social media and, like on TV and in movies.
I think that's a really good point because it is everywhere. Can I ask, and this might be a personal question, but how much of Mei Ying's story is your story?
Well, so a lot of it is influenced by my own story. And the bullying scene definitely is. And it's actually the bullies. It was 3 bullies, just like in the book. And then a lot of it is inspired by my parents' story. So Mei Ying's mom is a scientist at a university. And she's an immigrant from Taiwan. And my dad was an immigrant from Taiwan and a professor at a university. So I've taken a lot of our family stories and combine them into this one story.
Yeah. I think that's, oh my gosh, just looking through this, it chokes you up because it's so beautiful.
Thank you.
I mean, I don't want to like expose things. But look at this.
Right. So
Right there, that's beautiful. That's the yellow and the red, the good you said and the bad.
Yeah, like I want to show visually like how intense it is to feel this person coming at you, like it's almost like unbearable. And so I play with a lot of ugliness and rawness.
It looks like a monster.
Yeah, totally. That's how she sees him. Like the other kids might not see him that way, but in her mind, in her heart, when her blood is boiling, that's what she sees.
Gosh, this is so beautiful and so powerful. I cannot wait to share this with my own daughter.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me here to share this story with everyone.
Absolutely, and congratulations, 7 years, hard work, and it is just a beautiful story and such a great message.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.